This is probably going to be bouncy, unusable footage with unusable narration. And that's fine. This is just practice. Test run. Because it'd be cool to do these sort of walk and film and narrate videos through town like this. But if they're going to turn out bumpy and make people seasick, then we're not going to do it. We have to find a different strategy. I'm trying to give people their space out here too. Maybe once I get a little more comfortable with the camera and the mic and just kind of the format, we can stop and chat with our neighbors out here. Make it some kind of thing where we interview people about their dogs, maybe. A lot of people with dogs. I love dogs. It's a beautiful part of town right here. People forget these little neighborhoods are still here. Nice old Dodge Ram there. This walk usually takes about a half hour. I guess the timer on the camera will tell me how long it took. We got a car coming up behind us. Hopefully we don't get hit. Alright. Over here. Beautiful street, flowers, trees. This lady here, I know her, she's painting her house. This one on the corner's condemned. It just means it's on sale if you want to move to Jamestown. Move here, buy a house, get a loan, live in it, do some work on it, live there for a few years, see what's up. You find out the side of town is awesome. I'm gonna just start making this a thing, I guess. Maybe the bike helmet camera mount, the head mounted camera will feel a little smoother. I like to watch a guy on YouTube called Froggy Flips. He goes to yard sales. Seems like he's got a GoPro mounted maybe on the brim of his hat. Something like that. Seems like that could be potentially good setup. So there's 2 houses on this block that were on the Cheap Old Houses website or the Instagram or whatever. 2 great ones. 2 of them that kind of made people start noticing Jamestown had a lot to offer on a site like that. 2 of them are on this block we're walking down. And it's definitely some of the nicer homes on the block. Definitely a couple here that are condemned. But also still a beautiful side of town. Especially this time of year. So there's one a street over, a block over for me on Lakeview. I don't know what it sold for, but probably under 100K. I think that's the whole concept on that website. Under 100K. This one's beautiful. Just incredible, really. And then this one here on my left that we're walking up to was also on the Cheap Old Homes website. Also sold for somewhere just under 100K as far as I know. This one here that I'm crossing towards was abandoned for like a decade. And someone only recently bought this. I don't know what they paid, but they bought it before the prices of stuff started going up. I bet they got an amazing deal on it. This one on the corner here is incredible. This was owned by some architects, I think. It was an architect's office. There's the community garden spot right there. We're going to cross here. Yeah, this was the architect's office. Harrington, I think they're called. And now it is Labella Associates. Engineering, Architecture, Environmental, and Planning. Beautiful. Beautifully maintained. They're taking care of it. This plant is here. My wife could tell me. Amazing. And then we're coming down the whole back street. And I tend to walk on these back streets because this was the site of the old Moose Lodge. It was torn down recently, and I have talked to some friends in planning, and there's a plan for this. There's a sort of development plan for this little space, although I don't know the specifics on it. I was telling them it should be a skate park. I was saying, though, I walk the back streets because I know everyone in town. And if I walk on the main streets where everyone's walking, or where everyone's driving, they always stop and try to give me a ride. And that's nice, but I don't want to ride most of the time. Most of the time, I'm walking out here because I want to. Even in the winter, if I'm walking, it's because I want to. I have a car, I have a van, bicycles. So I appreciate my friends stopping to chat. But most of the time, I stick to the back streets while I walk so I can listen to music or just think about stuff, sort shit out in my head. Listen to playlists I made. Sort playlists out. It's an important job I do now. It'll be interesting to see if this audio is usable or not. There's a massage therapy spot. I like this walk too because it's through the nice little residential parts of little corners of downtown, or between the north side and downtown. These little corners that you don't drive through, and that's why they're nice. It's because they're not on the main road. They don't get a ton of traffic. So people still like living in those little neighborhoods. And so they stay and take care of their property and make it beautiful, just like they used to. All the places to walk and live along all these busy main streets become a lot less desirable because there's so much car traffic. Even in a small city like this, still traffic gets dense. People drive faster than they should. Certainly if you have kids, you'd rather not live on a busy road. Most people don't really get a choice. This place on the left is was the Masonic Lodge, the Masonic Temple. It's now the Robert H. Jackson Center. This is public housing. This is a beautiful church. Episcopal church? I don't know what kind of church. Big, beautiful church. This is Robert H. Jackson Center. He is a local lawyer. He was a member of this Freemasons Lodge here. Local lawyer who became a Supreme Court justice and was responsible for the Nuremberg trials. He was the judge, the Supreme Court justice who oversaw the Nuremberg trials, where they tried all the Nazi war criminals, or tried and convicted Nazi war criminals after World War II. Local claim to fame is that this guy is from here. He was a country lawyer from out in Frewsburg, which is outside of town here. He had his lawyer in office here in town. He went on to try try and convict Nazi leaders. Except for the ones they sent to Argentina and the ones who started NASA and the ones who probably work in engineering at Volkswagen and Porsche and a million other companies like that. Old Robert Jackson, he convicted some of them at least. He convicted the ones that went on trial. More brick. There's City Hall, old church, parking garage with the Lucy mural. Lucy's from here. This is the old telephone building. Internet company or something now. Internet provider, I guess. Cable company still. This guy's, not sure what that guy's doing. We're gonna cross over right here. Go down. There's the old townhouses. Labyrinth Coffee, Brazil beer bars down there. Here's the Lucy mural by Gary Peters. Shout out Gary Peters, senior and junior. Here is our parking garage. People act like there's nowhere to park. They must not understand how a parking garage works, I guess, because there's three of them. There's three of them. How can you not find a place to park? First of all, look right here. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4.